Hi, this is Gila. I hope everyone watching has had a good weekend, maybe still having a good weekend. I'm still using the same facility to record this that the past few videos seems to have put blips in when I've uploaded it to YouTube. So I hope this one is a bit more successful in that way. I'm sorry, I tried to find other online software, but I've gone back to the one I've been using because I know that essentially it does work, or at least it used to. Okay, so firstly, Tommy's trial, of course, is coming up on 23rd, this Tuesday. I thought seriously about trying to fly to England to be there, but it's not on at this time. But I'll be there in spirit. And obviously keen to find out what happens, and certainly, personally, I'm praying hard that Tommy Robinson walks out of that court a free man. Okay, as for the Soldier X campaign, in Israel, we have a wonderful lot of the IDF, and basically many Israeli citizens, this is national service, they have to go into it, women as well as men. So I support the IDF. I'm wearing my IDF t-shirt. Thank you, IDF. There we go. Thank you also, British Army. I mean, obviously I'm British and I love England, even though I don't live there any longer. And all people who are on the line to support freedom, democracy, their country, other people. They deserve our support. Now, what I also wanted to mention was the gagging order has now been lifted off the Leeds trial and these appalling trials of mostly Muslim men who have abused and underage girls. What they have done to them is absolutely atrocious. And these are children. And I want to share just a little bit. I don't want to go into details. It was a long time ago, but nearly 30 years ago, I was the victim of one who abused me psychologically and emotionally, not physically. And he was in a position of trust and power. I was actually an adult. I was actually in my 20s. So now you can guess how old I am now, but that's not really important. And although at the time, anybody who knew me then, I mean, once I escaped, all I could do was say what had happened to me. Unfortunately, this particular gentleman was left in a position of trust for some years after. And of course, he was bound to carry on doing the same thing to other people. But anyway, that's not really the point of mentioning this. This was a few years after the Thames Valley Police documentaries, if anybody remembers them from the 80s. There's one particular one that really got people going. It was about a rape victim who had walked in, and she was very badly treated by the police and sort of practically blamed, and, you know, what did you do to have this happen to you? You know, you must have done something, kind of thing. If I remember rightly, far too long ago to remember the exact details. But anyway, it created a huge outrage. It's also around the time for Anita Hill. Now, I'm not actually, I do actually believe in due process and law. But anyway, the point is, I don't think anybody would have noticed what I was truly going through each day. For many years, I kind of forced myself to get through each day. I'm not saying there weren't some good moments, but basically life was really not worth living. It really didn't feel like it. And I just hoped that one day life would be worth living. In my case also, I turned to God, and actually God helped me in many ways. There are other people who helped. I was utterly determined, and well, actually nowadays I've been happily married for quite a number of years. Life is so much more amazing, incredible than I could ever have imagined, and I guess it's all more valuable because certainly in a psychological sense, in a spiritual sense, we lost it. I honestly felt that not on a physical level at all, but on an emotional, psychological, spiritual level, I could have looked any Holocaust survivor in the face. That is how horrific abuse is. So, I would have hoped that by now in Britain, things had moved forward, that people were better treated, listened to, and justice given as far as possible. So you will understand my utter anger and outrage at the appalling efforts to cover over these terrible crimes for many years, allowing many young people's lives to be ruined, at least for years, in the name of political correctness, so that people couldn't be accused of being a racist, so as not to upset the Islamic communities where these predators came from. I mean, words fail me completely. And perhaps you'll understand that is why I support Tommy Robinson. Okay, that's all I really wanted to say. Life is sweet, life is important, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth standing up for. And if you truly care about other people, about freedom, human rights, especially the rights of children, vulnerable children who need to be treated, then stand up and make your voice heard. I actually started my own petition. It has very few signs. It's against the hatred and bigotry that is actually contained in Islamic political ideology. If you support someone or against hatred and bigotry, you might consider signing it and sharing it to others. Okay, in the meantime, have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.